and put it in sugar water. He drank half of it. The rest he gave to his wife, who has dementia. He was worried that the medicine wasn't enough. He added a few coals to the stove. Then he taped the doors and windows shut. After all this, he lay down on his bed. He held his wife's hand. He waited for death to come. The reason he chose to do this, because of his 3 ungrateful children. Mike collects junk for a living. He raised his 3 children through thick and thin, put them through college, and helped them start a family. He thought he'd be able to live a peaceful life, but then his wife developed Alzheimer's, and his children didn't care. Mike was left to care for his wife alone, but then his wife was diagnosed with bowel cancer, and she needed a lot of money. Now he has to turn to his children. Mike took the opportunity of his wife's anniversary. He called his children home. Mike cooked a meal that the children loved, and not one of them helped. In their eyes, he deserved it. Mike was about to say something at the table. He was interrupted by a phone call from his oldest son. The oldest son had finished his call. The youngest lost a game. He slammed the table. Jack was angry. He's about to lose his temper, but his wife stops him. Mike changed the subject. He took out a homemade toy and gave it to his granddaughter, but his daughter-in-law grabbed the toy. She took out a disinfectant and sterilized the toy. Mike could only pretend he didn't see it. Jack could see his embarrassment. He dragged him into a game of Qmite, and then the eldest daughter-in-law told him to stop. She thought it was too loud for the kids to learn. It was a very depressing meal for Mike. In the end, he didn't say anything about his wife's condition. No one cared about his mother's health. They were all playing with their cell phones. They all cared about their children. Lunch was over. The children left without looking back. Mike secretly called his youngest daughter and gave her the few $100s he had on him, because among the children, her family was the worst off. The youngest daughter took it without hesitation. Not even a thank you. It just felt like the right thing to do. They looked at their children in the distance. They felt so sad. The children left them with a mess. They didn't let the children take the toys. In the evening, his wife had another attack. The pain was so severe that he couldn't stand it. He was even conscious for a short time. Mike couldn't bear to see his wife suffer any longer. He thought long and hard and decided to go with her. He crushed the whole bottle of sleeping pills and put it in sugar water and fed it to his wife. Usually, his wife was very resistant to drinking pills. This time she seemed to have a premonition. She gulped it down. Mike couldn't hold back his tears any longer. To make his wife's death a dignified one, he washed and cleaned her up and put on some clean clothes.